What's up, retards? Welcome back to episode 3 of the CarTARDS podcast.
Yeah. Didn't think we'd make it this far.
Yep. Today I have Jacob on the phone with me instead of as in studio like we have in the past.
I was too broke to buy gas this week.
This week? Yeah, I can see that. I'm pretty broke too. It's fine. That's why this show has zero budget.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, on the docket today, for episode 3, we have Jeep dudes, parking is hard, ants, and yes, ants.
Excited for ants.
Ants, cylinder deactivation, and throttle by wire. Those are all very, very good topics that we can go over. So, first, let's talk about Jeep dudes, specifically the ones that drive Wranglers. Jacob, I think you wanted to talk about this, so I'm going to let you go ahead and take that.
Yeah, so I think we all know that one guy. You might be friends with him, you might not be friends with him. But, his whole personality is, yeah, dude, I drive a Wrangler. I put 2-inch tires on it. I'm gonna go mud this weekend, dude. I took the doors off. I did the lift. I fucking deleted the roof and shit, dude. Yeah, I'm a Jeep, dude. That's pretty much my entire personality. Oh, I don't know anything about sports, so I just care about my Jeep. Yo, dude, you have a Jeep? Dude, you don't have a Jeep? You're not cool enough, bro. Those guys. Fuck you.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. And, well, what pisses me off the most about people like that, like truck tards and like Wrangler owners, is that they do these stupid like mods in air quotes that they just like they'll put a big ass light bar on it and like RGB headlights, and it's like, why are you doing this? And then they'll like, I've literally seen people drive a Jeep Wrangler with RGB headlights, and they'll be color flowing while they're driving, and it'll be switching illegal. From like, yeah, it'll be switching from red to blue, and I'm like, okay, that is very illegal. That is impersonation of a police officer.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you do you, but you're gonna get a shit ton of tickets and or like worse for that, because that's literally like the biggest no-no. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want, in my opinion, but like,
it's kind of a big
red and
no-no
blue
to impersonate an officer in general, and then when you do it on the road with what is potentially a hazard, the other drivers on the road, you're just an asshole. I'm sorry. Yeah,
and it's like, even if you do have a problem with cops and stuff, and you're like, oh, I'm just, I'm against the system. Like, yeah, sure, whatever. But like, that's still like ambulance things. Like, that's like, ambulances are, nobody has a problem with ambulances. They save people's lives. So like, come on.
$5,000 a trip, dude. I don't know.
Okay, shut the fuck up. We're done with this now.
But no, I mean, like, don't get us wrong. There's nothing wrong with owning a Jeep, but if your entire personality is owning a Jeep and doing the same mod that 9 out of 10 Jeep owners do to your Jeep, and you call that a personality and you think you're unique, you're not. I'm sorry. You're just a fucking douchebag.
Daring today, aren't we? The SpongeBob meme.
Yeah. So
I want a Jeep.
I put a 2-inch lift and a light bar on it.
I want a Jeep Wrangler with a 80-inch light bar. Daring today, aren't we?
Daring today, aren't we? Yeah.
SpongeBob memes are the best.
Same with Jeep girls too. I mean, like, y'all who are still in high school, you
Jeeps
know that
are for
those girls that just straight up, their entire thing is, yeah, my Wrangler's kind of cute. I went to school with one of those. Actually, we went to school with a couple of those. It was it was pretty much what you'd expect.
I remember one time I was looking through Instagram, and these 2 girls took a picture in front of my really shitty 1991 Jeep Cherokee. Like, they literally took a picture right in front of my car, And then it was my car and my friend's car, which he had a squareback Volkswagen at the time, and they were these two like the shittiest cars in the parking lot of our school, and these girls just took a picture right in front of them with them in the background, and it's just like, and you remember that Jeep, the paint was flaking off, and it was just awful.
I mean, it's
been repainted
beautiful.
since then, actually.
It's beautiful as a Jeep, but like they just want it for Jeep clout.
I don't think they meant to take a picture in front of that Jeep, because if they did, they're really stupid.
Yeah.
Either that, or they were like, "Oh, Jeeps are hot, and maybe I should have talked to him more." I don't know. Maybe I should have talked to him more. I don't know.
No, I just love girls that like literally base their entire system of validation on clout of which car you own. I love people like that so much. And
yeah, and it's like, oh. Yeah, no,
I really can't say much because I drive a fucking Audi, and people just look at me. They're like, "Okay, you fucking rich asshole." I'm like, "Dude, this car's almost as old as I am." You can fuck off.
Well, my Mazda race car is older than I am. It's really weird. It was born in 1993. Oh, what a beautiful year! What a beautiful year for cars. Like, think about cars made in 1993. You got the Mark IV Supra, I believe, right?
Yeah.
You got the the Nissan Skyline
R34.
R34, yeah. Yeah. And you got the, what else do you got? What else do you got? I think here.
There's still RX-7s at that point? Like the fun RX-7?
I believe so. FD?
FD, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
For my initial D fans out there, y'all know the feeling. Yellow FD.
Got, and like, I know this is gonna sound really fucking stupid, but you've got Honda Civics that looked decent at that time.
Yeah, those weren't half bad.
Wait, when did the CRX, was the CRX mid 90s car? CRX was a mid 90s car, right?
Late 80s, early 90s,
Yeah, so wait, was there a 93 CRX? I'm gonna look it up right now. 1993, wow, I can't type. Honda CRX. I'm gonna sound like an idiot to anybody who actually knows about Hondas. I've never owned a Honda, by the way. Okay, so it was the Del Sol.
Oh, the Del
was the mid 90s.
And
Del Sols looked alright.
It was okay.
Not quite as good as the CRX, but like, I've seen people mod CRXs and then they go like super fast, and I'm just like, why is this faster than my car? Why? I just get really pissed off about it.
Dude, they weigh fucking nothing.
I know, they honestly. It's
don't
like
they still have the EG based 4-cylinder in there as well?
I don't remember. I don't know off the top of my head, but it's like a Volkswagen Rabbit, but better.
Yeah.
Because it's a Honda and it's not a Volkswagen.
It looks better, frankly.
Yeah, honestly.
Sorry.
Like Volkswagen Rabbits don't look bad. They have a pretty classic look to them, in my opinion. But I just don't like Volkswagens at all, really. I think there are much better cars out there. But
I like Volkswagens simply for the nostalgia, and like sometimes the aesthetics of the old Beetle and the Rabbit and MK2 Golf, like those, there's just an aesthetic to those that you can appreciate.
Yeah. They've got a nice like boxy shape with the circular headlights that people always put the little electrical tape over for some reason.
Yeah.
I'll put a picture of that in there. What's the timestamp? 9:12.
Yeah, 9:12, 9:20.
Alright, so for those of you that could hear me fucking writing, because I wrote right next to my mic, I just put a timestamp in there so I can put a picture of what I'm talking about in post. Because fuck no, we ain't streaming this yet. Maybe in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Let me figure out how to use my stream software a little easier. And then maybe by
Jacob's gonna cover that.
If y'all know, I stream games every now and again. By now and again, I mean like months in between, but You know, this could be a good weekly stream.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to advertise on this channel, Jacob.
Yeah, I am. Peep the Twitch. Twitch.tv/JR28.
No.
Yeah. Shameless plug. Shameless.
God damn it, you fucking. Well, now that we've already been demonetized, not that we were monetized in the first place.
We're not monetized at all.
I know, that's the joke.
If anything, we do this at a loss
that's
whenever one of us drives down to the other.
That's what just other YouTubers say, so I'm trying to catch on to that good old bandwagon and talk about demonetization and YouTube's
adpocalypse.
The algorithms are fucking me. Oh god. I don't get ad revenue. The algorithms are fucking me. I'm demonetized. I mean, to be honest, yeah, I would be pissed too. If I was like doing fine on YouTube and like making money and then I just suddenly got zero, I'd be kind of pissed too.
Well, and the problem with
I just think it's funny how everyone talks about it.
Huge rant incoming. Rant alert. Rant alert. No, but if that's your job on YouTube, the way YouTube handles their demonetization and their ad policies is god fucking awful.
I would not recommend.
It's automated to the point where they have lost track of how their automation works. Automation. I don't know, but
I would not recommend trying to make money on YouTube. For those of you that don't know, we're not doing this for money.
We're doing this because we're fucking bored.
Yeah, we're doing this like this honestly started as a joke. I was just like, hey Jacob, what if we were retarded? And he was like,
well, we already are.
Yeah, so. and that's how CarTARDS was born.
Yeah, but we're just putting our retarded energy into something we think is funny.
Oh, you guys can join our Discord, by the way. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video, and it'll have a bunch of just random channels, and then there'll be locked channels that you guys can't join because we don't want you to fuck with our streaming, but it's okay.
Yeah,
you guys can talk to each other.
We can have amazing conversations about cars.
Yeah,
I mean, we have channels set up for anything if y'all want it. So.
We would love to have guests in our videos too. If you guys just reach out, yeah, honestly. But yeah, Discord. Check out our Discord. You can talk to us anytime. Send messages in the text chat about general bullshit about cars. And
who knows, maybe one of you lucky fuckers with something good to say might make it on the show for 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're running a really janky setup right now, so you're gonna have to do a lot of work. But if you have like editing software or recording software, that's a plus as well. Yeah. We'll probably use that.
Feel free to hop in the Discord. Link in the description. We'd love to see y'all there.
It's just the CarTARDS Discord. Yeah. It's pretty easy to find.
Of retards texting and talking about cars, so yeah. Hop on in.
So
we're fucking gaming.
Big changes coming soon to a Discord near you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the next topic that we wanted to talk about was parking is hard. Jacob, you wanted to talk about that one?
Yeah.
As well?
So
I also want to talk about this one because I get pissed off about this one too.
Anyone who knows me personally knows that if you drive with me, you're going to listen to me narrate everything that other idiots on the road do. Because frankly, people who can't drive, they fucking piss me off. Like, I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck. And then it's people who park too. Like we all know like that one family member, like maybe even one of your parents, just really bad at parking. Like you look at it and you can't get out on one side because they're so close to the other car. And it's not because the other car is parked too close to the line. It's because your parent can't fucking park. And then when you go out in public, it's like the last spot available, but two giant SUVs have hugged the line so fucking hard that you can barely fit a motorcycle in there. But it's all you have. You have to run out through your fucking sunroof. There's just reasons I don't like a lot of people. It's because they can't fucking park. Like I have teammates. I practice at 6:15 in the morning, 5 days a week for track and field. I have teammates that cannot fucking park to save their lives, and it makes me very mad. So I
Yeah.
usually just come into practice in a bad mood, and they just look at me and I was like, one of you retards can't park, and they get all upset at me for saying the R word, but I don't care. And then they're like, well, parking's hard. I'm like, parking's not fucking hard.
Yeah, parking is really not that hard.
Like,
And
they're parking
like,
with like
no
really,
one,
really little like Suzuki fucking Swifts.
no
Really
one said
little
you can't.
cars.
No one said you can't go back and fix a bad parking job.
Yeah, if you
like that's
fuck up
what
parking,
irks me the most.
Just back up, reconfigure.
Yeah.
It takes 30 seconds.
Yeah, I've I back out and go back in all the time when I do a bad parking job, and I just don't understand why other people don't. Like a couple weeks ago, I parked like next to a truck, and then this other big ass truck parked right next to me, and he was literally not even close to in the lines. Like, he had a whole fucking tire on the other side of the line. Like, I could not get my car out, and he was there for like 3 days. I wanted to like find that dude and just yell at him, because it's so dumb. Like, I understand if you do a bad parking job and you're only going to be there for like 2 minutes and you're just grabbing something from like your apartment or something, but like, if you leave that there for 3 days, how do you walk away with that? How do you live with yourself?
Like, you have
like
to
that.
be,
Like,
you have to like literally hate yourself to just like park in like 3 or 4 spaces, or like have your car literally diagonally in a spot and think, oh yeah, that's acceptable. There's something wrong with you. I'm sorry.
or you just don't, or they just don't give a shit about other people.
Yeah, or they're such
Like,
egotistical
they're just
maniacs who have not made it out of the
shitheads.
stage of realizing that get this, other people exist in this world too. It's not just about you.
Yeah.
That they just have completely dissociated from the rules and expectations of society and said, fuck it, their problem, not mine.
Yep, that's basically what parking comes down to. Like, parking is hard. It's not that hard. Just
it's not hard. If you fuck up,
and if
take
you
the
like
30 seconds.
Yeah, and if you just like get better at it, it's really not hard to get better at parking. You just have to do it. Like, just park and just try a different approach. If you consistently park really badly, try swinging wider or swinging sooner. Just like
take an hour
try
out
something
of your day
different.
Like, go tool around an empty parking lot, practice fucking parking.
Or even just practice while you're like normally driving every day, because you're gonna, if you're a normal driver, you're gonna park all the time, and just like, you should get practice out of that. Like, you should be good at parking by the time you're 20. You should, like, you've had the experience.
The only time
there's
I
no
will accept the
excuse
argument that parking is hard to do parallel parking, because sometimes parallel parking is genuinely difficult.
Oh yeah, parallel parking is hard for everyone. Like, and especially me. I have a bike rack that is a non-folding bike rack, so it always sticks
so
like 4 feet out.
Your car.
Yeah, so I rarely, if I have that bike rack on, I rarely parallel park.
I mean, we drive relatively small cars nowadays, considering that half the road is SUVs and trucks. And we still have a hard time finding parking spots because these dudes either can't park or frankly, they might be perfectly parked, but their cars are just so fucking big we can't do it.
Yeah.
And like, those guys, I mean, it's no problem. Like, guys with big trucks, like, straight up, they will try to take 2 spots sometimes to help out someone. Because if they try to park in a normal spot, no one will be able to get in or out next to them, especially if another truck comes in and parks in between them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, sometimes it's a smart thing to do. But 9 times out of 10, when it's your fucking shitty little Suzuki Swift, and you're parked
and you're like
a
over
millimeter
the line
off of the right line with 7 or 8 inches off the left, fucking fix it. It's not that hard.
I see this girl in my apartment complex who, I swear to God, every single day she comes in and she parks, and she's a tire over the line. She's got a tire literally over the line, and it's just like, you didn't even try. You didn't even fucking try. The least you can do is go back and fix it. And she every single day. And then it just fucks up, and you can just see, like, after that whole row of cars is fucked up because of her.
Yeah. Like, you can walk down the line of cars, and you can see patient 0 where it all fucking started. Because it just gets progressively worse down the line because everyone's off by 5 or 6 inches.
Yep.
And 5 or 6 inches makes a huge fucking difference, especially if you're trying to park, a normal sized car. Like, I feel like half these people that park like this, that just like look at their diagonal ass parking job with the fender of their fucking car in another spot, the middle of their car in a spot, and the ass of their car in the third spot, They're the people that fucking piss on the toilet seat and just like, someone else can pick it up. That's that
Yeah.
same fucking
They
person.
they must either be A, blind, or B, retarded.
Sometimes a combination of both is possible. Especially if
Yeah.
you live in the Nampa area. I mean, I had a buddy literally watch some guy sit in the Canyon County DMV, take his fucking driver's license test for 5 hours because he couldn't read. I shit you not.
What the
This
fuck?
guy claimed that it took him 5 hours to pass the test, and he got his fucking license.
Why? If you... Oh my god.
Dude, Canyon
That's-
County has no fucking standards, dude. It's the
You have
fucking
to
Wild
be
West
able to-
out there.
Honestly, like I'm not like, oh, if you can't speak English, go leave this country. But like, in order to drive, you should be
You
able.
need to be
you
able
should,
to read.
You should be able to read English.
Yeah, and it
You
like
should
frankly,
at the
anyone-
very least.
almost anyone can read another language. Is it going to be good? No, but could you like recognize the same words? More than likely. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not fluent in Spanish by any means. I've been trying to learn Spanish since I was fucking 6 years old.
But
I
you
mean,
can,
I
like,
I
read- you can
words.
recognize
I can
road
read
signs.
a word and like I'll just like look at Google Street View sometimes. Like when I was down in Mexico with my family a couple of years ago, we were walking around and they're like, hey, we want to get to this spot. So I kind of, I Google Maps some shit and just looked at street signs. I'm like, oh yeah, I recognize this.
Yeah. No, I like, you should, whatever country you're going to, whatever the most used language there is, you should be able to read that language.
Yeah.
Because like, if you're gonna drive, there are so many street signs that like you just won't know what they mean. And it's like, and I like, it's one of the things where it's like, the bus stops, the elementary like bus stops, the school bus stops, where they just show like a bus and kids like stopping from behind, and like that's what the sign shows. Like why are you showing that? Why are you showing that and not just writing like bus stop? And it's so people who can't read can do that, but like you should be able to read in the first place, because there are so many that are still in
construction ahead. Slow down.
Yeah.
And if
yeah,
you can't
and,
read that in the 2 seconds it takes for you to see it and drive by it, you're putting someone else's fucking life at risk potentially.
Yeah.
Not just your own,
exactly.
but another person.
Yeah.
I mean, put simply, a car is a fucking weapon. You're driving a ton, maybe sometimes even 2-3 tons, at 20-30 miles an hour. I mean, that's a fucking weapon. That'll decimate someone. It'll decimate people, buildings.
You should know how to use the car. You should, like, so many people just don't even know how to drive, like, normally, let alone, like, drive fast.
Or
and they'll
let
be going
alone
like
drive defensively either. I mean, one of the things my parents made sure I knew was like how to protect myself if there's some retard barreling at me looking at their phone.
Yeah.
And like when I got hit, I mean, this dude wasn't even paying attention. So my first thought was to swerve away from him so the impact's softer. And as opposed to putting the front end of his car into my body, he put a corner of it into a hole in my car. Because I had the reaction to fucking slam on the brakes and swerve away as opposed to into it or keep going straight and just watch all hell break loose. Because I took the time to figure out how to defend myself, my car, and my passengers when I was learning how to drive.
Yeah, I generally have 2 driving modes, and it depends on how pissed off I am. I'll either drive defensively or aggressively.
Yeah.
For the most part, I try and drive defensively, but there are some times where I drive really aggressively. Like if someone is going really slow in front of me, like if they're doing 5 under the speed limit, I will get really aggressive. Just because I know that I have to, I'm not going to spend, I'm not going to increase my travel time by 15 minutes just because these people don't know how to fucking drive. So I'm going to pass them, but you have to be aggressive enough to be able to pass them, especially if you're going to do something like double pass.
Yeah.
Like if there's 2 people ahead of you
and
and
balls to be able to double pass to survive an item effectively.
Yeah.
Like
there's a lot of times where you have to double pass because the one person, they're not going to pass them because they've had like 3 opportunities to pass already. So they're conveying or convoying or something. And so you're going to have to double pass. Or you have to get in between them, but they're too close. So you have to end up double passing. And so double passing takes a lot of aggression to do that right. because you have to be able to get up to a speed where you can, and you have to do it right. And you still have to be aggressive. You still have to be defensive while you're being aggressive, though.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of a
one or the
balance.
other.
Because if you're like full aggressive and you just go for something out
You're
of
gonna
nowhere
kill
and you're
someone or
super
yourself.
unpredictable, yeah, because either you might not see somebody in the oncoming lane, or you might start to go past, and then this other person decides to go past right at that moment, and so then you like sideswipe them or hit them or something, or rear end them maybe, and that can be really bad. So you have to know, like, you have to be predictable and still defensive while you're being aggressive. It's a little bit of a balance, but it's still aggressive driving, in my opinion. Because full defensive driving is just like, loop to do, I'm gonna go 5 under the speed limit and
that's just not safe driving.
pull over. Well, I mean, it's okay if you actually know like what you're doing. Like if you're gonna pull over in all the slow vehicle turnouts.
Yeah,
and
if you're being
gonna,
the guy who like actually utilizes the slower vehicle lane, or like you put on your hazards if something's wrong and you need to slow down a little bit, you move off to the side of the lane to let people kind of get around easier.
Yeah,
then good on you. You know how to use the tools that the car and the system has given you to make yourself not a threat to other people.
What people don't understand is that you can help. Like if somebody's trying to pass you, you can help them pass you. You can pull over to the side a little bit, get right on the edge of the lane or even over the line a little bit, and so they can see what oncoming traffic is coming, and that way they can stay mostly in your lane. So if like, there's somebody coming and they didn't see it, they can, still not hit them. Like there's things you can do so that people don't get like in accidents. You can help somebody pass you because you are at the front, and you have the power to help them. Or you can just be a dick and
then try to
block their view and speed up every time they try and pass you. I fucking hate those people.
At anyone from the fucking state of California, you bastards. I don't know what the hell they teach you in California driving school, but it definitely has to be like, you're the only person on the road that matters. Fuck everybody else. Have fun.
Honestly,
like I swear
it probably
to God,
is.
I was driving to Moscow when we filmed the podcast 2 weeks ago, and there was some fucking dude in a Kia Sorento who was going 5 under the whole way up, and I get close to him, he fucking punches it up to 80. I'm like, okay, dude, keep that speed consistent. I didn't change my speed at all. And then 5 minutes later, I'm coming up on him again. I'm getting ready to go around. He fucking goes back up to 85. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Either pick your speed or let me go around. And I try to go around, and he fucking speeds up as I'm next to him trying to pass him. Okay, dude, fuck off.
The least you can do if you're gonna go slow is keep your speed consistent. Like,
don't.
That way I know how long it's gonna take me to pass you, going whatever speed I want to go when I pass you. Like, at least you're not gonna punch it. Like, just or slow down when somebody's passing you too. That's another thing you can do to help.
Yeah, that helps. That helps them out so much. They don't have to stay in the other lane that long. They can get around easier.
And they might not have to speed as much. Like, if you're going 5 under and they go to pass you at the speed limit and you slow down to 10 under, it's gonna help them pass you a lot faster and be a lot safer.
But only do that if there's like not someone riding your ass, because then that's where it gets dangerous. But I mean, again, that's the whole.
Generally, if someone's
dangerous part of driving is you have to be so obscenely aware of your surroundings, and there are just plenty of people out there that just can't handle that. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm not trying to like call you, like I'm not trying to make fun of you by any means if you believe that this is attacking you, but I'm sorry, but there are just plenty of people who just weren't built to handle the stress of driving.
Yeah, and there's times that people like should not be driving and they don't realize it. Like, if you're really tired or if you're like just not in a good mood can really affect how you drive. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. Like, if you're bawling your eyes out, you probably shouldn't be driving.
Like, if I've had a shit day at work, I'm coming home pissed off. So like, I'm gonna drive like a fucking dick. I'm sorry, but
yeah, you just want to get home at that point.
I just want to get home, take a fucking shower, eat some food, and go to bed. That's all I fucking want. If I had a shit day at work, I'm just trying to get home. It's like, okay, bro.
Yeah, and then there's the people that are still going like 15 under, and you're just like, why are you like this? Yeah, No, I get really annoyed at people who can't drive, who like just don't know what they're doing with driving. Wow, we made it to 30 minutes. Look at that, Jacob.
Dude, that's 2 topics. Like we're getting better at this as time goes on.
Yeah, I mean for sure.
Our tomfuckery is becoming. It's still aimless talking at this point, but I mean the tomfuckery is still there. I'm proud of us.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the like text chat where I typed fucking pussy in the last
I mean like
message I sent.
like literally anything that we do that's like not on topic, like anything that anyone does is not on topic. That's just some tomfuckery.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
That's just one of my favorite words right now. Enjoy it while you can.
My favorite word is retard. And artichoke. Artichoke is like one of my favorite words. I keep calling this one person an artichoke, and it's really funny because they get like they're like. It's honestly a very similar mood to that. It's like you're an artichoke, and they're like,
yeah, it's
like
calling someone a fucking troglodyte or a fucking egg.
Well, artichoke. I don't know. I consider artichokes like not a bad thing. Like I've never eaten an artichoke,
you're calling someone a
yeah.
vegetable, which effectively means they're brain dead. So like you have to have 200 IQ to get that.
That's not really what I consider. I just consider like calling someone an artichoke like they're just like, you're an artichoke, man, because you're just an artichoke. And they're like, what does that even mean? I'm like, well, artichokes are just like a weird food, so you're just weird.
Yeah, you're fucking weird. Get over it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh,
wrecked. Another libtard wrecked.
Get wrecked. Libtard.
So, you want to hear a horse joke?
Sure.
Why the long face?
I fucking hate you. I fucking
so
hate
angry. So angry.
If I was in the fucking studio right now, what we call the studio, I'd fucking walk out of the room.
AKA my
Mark's
room. My room with a mic and some like sheets on the walls. That's literally all I did. I put my sheets up and used them as sound damping material, kind of. It's really shitty, but you know, it kind of works. I don't know. Our podcast still sounds shitty, but that's because it has zero budget.
Yep.
We're using all stock music. Like, you know, you can find literally every song I've used in any of our videos on like the YouTube stock footage.
Yeah.
Stock audio page.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
We're pretty good at what we fucking do.
We have zero budget, just so you guys know.
And almost
like
zero
our
talent.
budget is literally zero, except for whatever Jacob pays for in gas, and that's coming out of his own pocket.
The $30 I put in my tank every like 3-4 weeks.
Do you have to put premium in your Audi?
I should. So I just split the difference, honestly.
What?
Like, you know how there's like 3 gas types? There's like the 81,
oh,
86,
so you get like the mid
yeah,
grade?
I'm supposed to put 91 in there. That's what the car in the manual says.
I just wouldn't drive it too hard, I guess, if you're not gonna put 91 in there.
Yeah.
Wait, is it recommended or required?
It says recommended. It doesn't say required.
Oh, okay. Then you don't have to put premium in it.
Yeah, no. So I just split the difference.
See, my WRX requires premium, which is really fucking expensive, especially up here.
That's awful.
Like, Moscow gas is so fucking expensive. Oh my god.
That's what I like about Lewiston. Gas is pretty fucking cheap.
It's not too bad, and if you have like a Costco card, you can get really cheap gas.
Yeah, I actually stole. So what I did was, I asked my dad to put me on a Costco card membership. He's like, "Oh, okay, we'll just take your mom's Costco card and make it in your name." I'm like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "Yeah, I mean, we share the same one." I'm like, "Neat. Sorry, mom."
Oh, by the way, CarTARDS is sponsored by NordVPN. Do you want all your data stolen because NordVPN doesn't know how to spend their money to make an actual VPN and just advertises their own VPN that doesn't work?
$10 a month.
Buy NordVPN. No, we're actually not sponsored by NordVPN. That was a bit. I'm just making fun of them. Yeah, I'd love it if they sponsored us. I'd be completely willing to shill, because I know none of you would actually buy NordVPN, and I just get free money. But, you know, that's fine. They don't want to sponsor me. They don't want to sponsor a great show that deserves to be sponsored. Right, Jacob?
Yeah, they definitely don't.
We don't. We don't deserve any money from anybody.
At least not yet.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if by some ungodly reason, like, Raid Shadow Legends finds their way here, you fucking know.
Oh my god. How many times are you gonna mention that fucking game? How many times are you gonna mention that fucking game, man?
Dude, hey, look.
Like,
every fucking YouTube video I watch says today's sponsor is like, you're never gonna fucking guess. Raid Shadow Legends. I'm sorry for the ear rape headphone users, but it had to be done.
No, I can do what you can do, but I can do it better.
Oh, you don't even want to get me going.
I'm just looking at. I'm just looking at the visualizer, and it's just completely maxed for that. Like, I can do it better. Now that I'm a foot from the mic, it's like super quiet. My poor mic. I've abused this mic so much. I think it's fallen off a tripod before. I kind of feel bad for it. But at the same time, this mic is a great mic. Blue Nessie. These are great mics. If you're looking to like just record like random bullshit, they're really good at it. And they have 3 modes. You can do whatever the fuck you want with them. They even have a screaming mode, so let me put it on screaming mode. Sorry, I muted my mic there for a second.
That was awkward.
Screaming mode.
Oh, that is cursed.
Actually, I don't know. I feel like the modes on this Nessie are a little bit different because it says online that it's like a minus 10 dB, but it's definitely not. And I feel like it's just the raw.
I think they just turned up the gain a little bit. Just so, yeah.
Well, no, the screaming mode is supposed to be like a lower output. Like lower in like.
It
it's
just
not supposed to
sounds
pick
more
up as much.
than usual when you do it, so I don't know.
Yeah, it probably is. But yeah, no, they have 3 modes. They have a soft touch mute button. They have a very nice bass. And if you like, the only problem is they have a pickup on the bass. So if you like tap your desk, it picks that up and it's really loud. And it's really annoying.
Yeah, that doesn't sound. It's like when I use the fucking game, the quote unquote game presets on my monitor, it just makes the image look like fucking garbage.
Yeah. No, but yeah, anyway, we're not sponsored by NordVPN.
We're not sponsored by anyone. Please sponsor us. I like money. Someone help. Please.
Okay, anyway, so let's move on. The next topic that I kind of wanted to talk about, and this is going to be a rant. Everything is a rant in this fucking podcast. Let's just get over it. It's a rant. Ants. Let's talk about ants. So this summer, I worked on my Mazda MX-6. That's the same Mazda MX-6 that I have on this channel, that I have a few videos uploaded of. And it's a great car. I love the shit out of it. It's so much fun to drive. Slapped the turbo on the NA V6. It's very, very fun, very fast. But it had a bad one of the cylinders had bad compression. So I pulled the engine this summer and rebuilt the engine. That was a lot of fun, but the body of the car sat for like a month during the like hottest part of the summer. And during that month, apparently it was on top of an anthill.
Oh, I remember.
So the moral of the story really is that you don't want to park your car on top of an anthill for long periods of time. But basically what happened was the ants, the car became an ant colony.
And
it was disgusting. There were ants fucking everywhere. But yeah, it got like, I tried for so long to kill those fucking ants, and finally, like, I finally got them all. But basically, what you don't want to do if you have an ant infestation in your car, this is just a PSA. If you have an ant infestation in your car, do not use like bug spray. Do not like spray them with ant killer to try and kill them. Do not do that, because that's the worst route you can go. Because what it does is it just kills the ants that you see, and then you don't see them anymore, but there are still a shit ton more ants there. So what you want to do actually is you want to get the ant traps and just set them all over your car. Find where the ants are the most and just put them all near there. And then they'll get the ant bait and they'll take it back to the rest of them and they'll all eat it and they'll all die, and it works really well. There's still some larvae, so it'll take a little while to kill them all, but yeah, you just gotta get the traps. I know you just want to kill them all right then with the spray, but that's not the way you want to do it. That's literally the worst way you can do it. And it feels really good to kill them with the spray. I know I had a lot of fun just spraying the shit out of ants that were in my car. But yeah, no, don't use the spray. Use the traps. Eventually they'll all die. And put some traps in your car, but also put some outside your car. A, so you don't get more in your car, and B, so it attracts them to go outside your car. And ants. Sometimes that'll flush them out too.
Don't fuck with ants.
Yeah, just yeah. If you notice like a dirty, like if you're parking in some like a grass field and you notice like a little bit of like dirty spots, or like you pull up a piece of wood and there's bugs underneath, I wouldn't recommend parking there. Parking in the gravel is usually going to be your best bet, just because there's not quite as much opportunity for ants there. They don't like the gravel as much as they'd like just dirt, because there's not as much.
Park on asphalt.
Yeah, park on asphalt or like somewhere else.
Driveway,
if you can.
pavement.
Driveway, yeah, pavement.
In
Just
trees works
not-
pretty good too.
I wouldn't recommend trees just because birds.
No, in the tree. I don't think you understand. Get your car in the tree and then you're safe.
Like literally inside the tree.
Yeah, like,
okay.
get off the ground,
Let me
in the
just
tree.
launch my car up into a tree. That
Yeah, you've never
sounds
parked
fantastic,
your car
Jacob.
in a tree before?
No, I don't
You're
believe I
literally
have.
not even living life. You have not parked your car in
Oh,
a
I'm
tree.
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I'm missing out. Shit.
Let me know about Mark's amateur hour chat or the fucking comments, I guess.
All right, I'll do that right now. I'll make a new.
Amateur parking hour. God, I can hear you typing. Help. Help.
Yeah, my keyboard is pretty loud.
Sorry, what? I couldn't hear you.
All right, there you go. I created a new channel, new text channel.
Mark's amateur hour.
There
Yeah,
you go.
So if any of you retards want to hop in the Discord, you can talk shit about how bad Mark is
And-
at parking. Spam
yeah,
that in the comments of
I'm-
this YouTube video.
Hey! I'm not bad at parking because I can't be bad
Mark's
at
not
parking.
He's just an amateur who doesn't park in the tree before.
What am I bad at then?
I misspoke.
What am I bad at if I'm not bad at parking?
I don't know.
Am I bad at killing ants? Because that would be a truth.
Yeah.
But I'm bad at a lot of things. It's alright.
Don't
I'm
fuck
bad
with
at
ants.
sports.
Yeah, kids. Long story short, don't
I'll just
fuck
start
with
making a
ants.
list. Bad at sports. Bad at video games. See, most of the things I'm bad at, I love to do though, so it's really annoying. I'm also bad at just life in general. Bad at what else am I bad at, Jacob?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. There we go. You guys can just append this list. Just keep adding to it. Just. Oh, I'm probably pretty bad at podcasts.
No, dude, we're fucking good at this. We wouldn't have a podcast if we were bad at it. Am I right?
Yeah. No, that's hilarious, Jacob. Okay. So now that we've gotten through ants.
Ants bad.
Ants bad. Yeah.
Don't fuck
Orange
with
Man
ants.
bad. Ants bad.
Don't fuck with ants.
Yeah. No. Ants in your car is no bueno. But yeah, so the next topic, what was I going to talk about? Horse jokes? Do we want more horse jokes?
Not really.
Fine. Okay, well, let's talk about a sponsor for a second. CarTARDS is sponsored by wireless seatbelts.
Yeah. Do you like fucking dying but tricking your car into thinking you're safe? Wireless
Yeah.
seatbelts.
Wireless seatbelts.
We also do have a surprise guest for the show today. I'd like to welcome a man who needs no introduction. He asked me to call him the Joker.
Why?
Oh god, he has a fucking gun. Mark! Open me, he has a gun.
What's happening?
Help me, he has a gun.
Who?
The Joker.
Did I just... Jacob, you still there, bud? Okay, well, so Jacob's dying in the background. Let's just continue the podcast and let's talk about cylinder deactivation. So,
What's
a lot of people are like,
why did it stop working?
a lot of people are like, oh yeah, cylinder deactivation is great. I'm so efficient with cylinder deactivation. But what they don't realize is that cylinder deactivation is actually, depending on what like kind of cylinder deactivation you have, it's actually not as useful as most people realize.
Say, because it either goes one of two ways, right? They either just shut off the spark plug, or they shut off the fuel line of that cylinder, right?
Well, generally they don't put any fuel or spark into that cylinder.
Yeah.
Because if you do put fuel into that cylinder, then you have
Still
way more
wasting
problems
fuel.
because you're gonna burn your cat.
Yeah.
You're gonna melt your cat if you still have fuel going through there but no spark. But basically with cylinder deactivation, what you're doing, or you get really shit emissions if you put fuel in there and no spark. But basically what you're doing with cylinder deactivation is you're taking that cylinder and you're not putting any fuel or spark in there. So it's not actually, that cylinder doesn't make any power. But what people don't realize is that that cylinder still has frictional drag and it still has a lot of frictional drag and a lot of pumping losses associated with it. So you're still losing all the efficiency of that bigger engine. You're just not making as much power.
Yeah.
So I don't usually see cylinder deactivation as being that much better than just not having it in the first place and just having it being tuned efficiently, or calibrated efficiently in the first place. Because obviously, yeah, you're not using that cylinder, so you don't have to put that fuel into that cylinder to keep it, cold and running cool. But you still have a lot of other problems because you've got air in there moving around, and that takes work. And you've got the friction of the piston rings and all that moving around, because that takes a fair amount of energy to overcome. Even if they do, because some cars have they open their valve and they leave that intake valve open, and so it just pushes the intake back out, and that works, but it still takes energy to pull that intake charge in. And then especially if you have your throttle body closed, if you're at no throttle and you're trying to that's a ton of losses. But I guess then, since you're deactivating a cylinder, you're not making as much power, so you have to have a higher throttle position to keep that amount of power, so it's not as much pumping losses. Yeah,
It's
I guess.
just a fancy way of them saying, yeah, we're gonna cut your engine in half to make you think you're efficient.
Yeah, we're gonna cut your engine in half, but you're still gonna have the same frictional losses. And you're still gonna
millennials that fucking buy this shit are like, oh, I'm sick of the fucking environment. It's like, I'm so efficient. It's like, oh. Usually it's like, okay, boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Sorry, I didn't mean to slur, but
yeah, did you hear they're trying to call that it's not a slur.
I'm sorry.
It's not any more of a slur than snowflake.
Yeah.
And snowflake isn't a slur. Like, if somebody called me a snowflake, I'd probably just have an existential
I
crisis and
just
walk
laugh
home.
at them and call them a boomer and watch them shit their pants.
I don't know. I've seen people that aren't boomer age call me. Are they like a pseudo boomer at that point?
I guess. You can literally call anyone
Okay.
a boomer and just like watch them watch them not know what to say. It's amazing.
Let's get out of political talk. Let's talk
not
about
politics.
I guess you're right. It's just generational humor
It's a
at
basic
that point,
fact
I
of
guess.
life, you fucking boomer.
Okay, boomer.
Imagine being a fucking boomer.
If I got called a boomer, I'd probably like lose my shit. I'm like, I'm pretty millennial, dude. I don't know. Maybe I talk like a boomer. Do I talk like a boomer, Jacob?
Back in my day, we didn't have our fucking
Back
phones.
in my day. Ew. Back in my day, I used to eat leather and drink mud. And I had to walk to school both ways uphill in the snow.
And we didn't have those
No, you
goddamn
didn't.
phones. Even
No,
though
you
we
didn't.
invented them. They're a scourge that young people invented. Oh, you don't know how to use
Are
a
they?
VHS tape? Ha, you fucking idiot. You would not have survived in our
Oh,
world.
you don't know how to use outdated technology?
But how the
Wow.
fuck who the fuck uses email in 2019?
Do you know how to use Okay, boomer. Do you know how to use a fucking like
Do you know how to use a fucking computer that's not from 1990?
Well, okay, think about this. Like, boomers always make fun of millennials for, like, not knowing how to use outdated technology, but do boomers know how to use technology that was outdated in their day? Like, can a boomer use what's the, like, Morse code thing where you tap it? Like, I doubt a boomer could just use one of those unless they already knew Morse code for some reason, and I don't think most boomers know Morse code.
The only boomers that know Morse code are the ones that were secret code people in like World War II. That's about it.
Yeah,
You just encode the code into Morse code, and everyone's like, bro.
I doubt most boomers understand how to use technology that's way older than them. Like, watch a boomer try and, like, I hear a lot of people like, oh, you don't even know how to start a carbureted car. First of all, I do. Second of all, I bet you don't know how to start a fucking steam engine. Like, no. Try and drive a steam locomotive right now, boomer.
It's at that
like,
point when I
what?
tell the boomer who I know has no experience with diesel is like, okay, start this fucking diesel engine and -43 weather, you asshole. Just watch them just shit their pants. It's like, it's not started. It's like, yeah, that's right, fucking boomer.
Yeah, I got really used to pumping the gas a lot in my Mazda because it never, for some reason, the fuel pump would never prime on the first crank, so I'd always have to crank it multiple times, and then it would start, or just like it would not hot start. Like, that thing hated hot starts for some reason. I don't know why. I think it was just really shitty. That car, I need to do a lot of electrical work to it. I'm gonna be replacing the ECU soon, and then it'll make shit heaps of power on E85 goodness.
Oh,
It'd be
fuck yeah,
beautiful.
E85. That's sweet, sweet goodness.
Fucking love E85, dude. Can't wait to run that car on E85. Oh,
I'd fucking
just
love
smell.
to run my car on E85 just for the fuck of it.
You won't. No balls.
I have to completely redo the fuel system. Or just the lights, I guess. Make them not get corroded by E85.
Yeah, I think any car made
Most
past
stock lines can't handle E85.
any car made past mid-90s, I believe, the fuel lines are designed to be able to carry ethanol and not be eaten by the ethanol. But
it's usually
yeah,
just
a lot
a good step. Just like, let's make sure this will for sure.
A lot of older-
not get its ass fucked by the E85.
yeah, a lot of older rubber lines do not corrode, but they do eat themselves in E85.
Well, yeah, they're just not built.
They
to handle
dissolve. Yeah, but most As long as you don't leave ethanol in the car for long periods of time and not run it, most metal lines will be fine with ethanol. But sometimes it can eat it if you leave it in there for a long period of time.
I'm literally looking at it right now. The model generation after my car can take E85.
Rip. Is it flex fuel or just can take E85?
Just can.
Okay.
Because like the generation after mine, they dropped the 1.8 turbo and went with the 2-liter turbo. So only 2-liter turbo up can take E85. That makes me really sad.
Okay, that makes sense. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't. So what's the difference between the?
It's probably just the fuel lines, honestly.
Well, what's the difference between the 1.8 turbo and the 2.0?
The one is 1.8 liters and the other is 2 liters.
Oh, well, are there any architectural differences in the engine?
Size.
Other than that?
I honestly have no idea. I don't
know
too much.
Is it still iron block? Because yours is an lower iron block, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off, Google. Not that. Just take me to the fucking wiki on the engines.
How come you don't know about your own car, Jacob? God.
Because
I only do research.
Because I'm not allowed to mod it right now.
I do research about my cars every day for 8 hours a day. That's all I do.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let's see. V5.
That's a lie. That was a lie, by the way. I definitely don't only do research about my own cars.
Lick my taint. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, 20 valve.
Lick your what?
Cam. I'm pretty sure it's an iron block. I don't know about the 2-liter though. Here we go.
Is yours the one with like 5 valves per cylinder for some weird reason?
Yeah.
That's
it's
so
the
weird.
1.8 Audi V5 turbo. That's what it's technically called in Audi language.
Did you know that some Hondas, like the first gen Honda Accord, had 3 valves per cylinder, I think?
Really?
Yeah.
Probably
they had two
or 2 exhaust one intake.
They had 2 intake and
2
1
intake.
exhaust.
Oh, that's probably just for the IV Tech then.
No, they had 2 intake. It was for carburetors. So they had 2 basically different carburetors, and one of them was ran a little richer, and one of them was lean. So they had an overall lean fuel mixture in the thing, but then they had the third valve was right next to the spark plug, and so it brought in rich fuel right next to the spark plug, so they could run really efficiently, but also really have a good no knock. So it was really cool. It was actually a really ingenious system for what they had at the time for technology. It was basically like a very old version of direct injection.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just like the first direct injection system, basically. It's really cool. But you had to know how to tune it, because most people didn't know how to tune those carbs because they didn't realize that they were
carbs are a fucking pain in the ass.
Yeah, well, and yeah, it's a pain in the first place, let alone when you have 2 separate ones where they're running at different air fuel ratios.
Yeah.
So if one of them gets out of whack and you have to rejet it, you have to make sure that both of them are correct. Otherwise, the car just runs like shit. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool system they had going there. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do a stripped version on this one, because I don't want to put pictures up, and I'm gonna have to do enough editing already. And I'm lazy. We're both lazy.
Oh, we're both very fucking lazy. If we had higher production value, or we were getting kind of paid to do this, I'd put more effort into it.
If somebody else was editing this,
if someone else was editing this, right? Honestly.
Anybody want to edit this for us? Yes, no, maybe? Probably not. That's okay. It's okay. We don't have to have anyone edit it. We can just edit it ourselves and just give shitty versions. But yeah, we're pretty much at an hour now, so
yeah, dude, we're fucking gaming.
Yeah. A little bit of dead air.
Lots of rants, lots of off topic, but I mean, anyone who's actually taking the time to listen to this, A, thank you, and B, you know how this shit works. We're retarded.
We are actually retarded. It's okay. Actually, just don't even
don't ask. We're fucking
don't even
gaming.
question it. We're all retards. We're all fat retards. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for today's episode. See you guys, hear you guys, listen to you guys next time. I don't know how to end this.
Thanks for tuning in, you retards.
Yep. Ending. Bye.
Goodbye, gamers.